good, family? It's your boys Apocalypse. Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we got Chiseled Adonis. Can we stop trashing different eras? Hey man, what was y'all favorite era? Let me know in the comments. Without further ado, man, let's get into it.
Alright, so boom, I opened up the Twitter X machine today and I just so happened to see trending is the 80s is done, the 90s is done, in reference to 80s and 90s basketball, because evidently LeBron fans and anti-Jordan fans done found footage or highlight packages of people scoring on Michael Jordan. Furthermore, they were uploading clips of how slow the game may have been or how less skilled it was back in the day. And this isn't going to be an argument about LeBron versus Michael Jordan.
Man, I done seen people post some shit like that with boxing.
But that doesn't devalue the accomplishments of LeBron James, nor does it embolden what Michael Jordan did. But it seems as if we have to have a conversation regarding eras. And it seems like this, for whatever reason, seems to be a conversation in football circles regarding the NFL and NBA circles. It appears in other sports they actually respect, you know, their legends, their greats. Granted, there are individuals who try to devalue what individuals did in the past. However, it seems to be...
Damn. Got hit with an ad already. Alright, we back.
On a macro scale when we're talking about basketball and football, so we'll keep the conversation centered around that. Have you no shame? People got videos of Clyde Drexler dropping baskets on Michael Jordan, making it seem as if this man was a scrub. Do you recognize that Clyde Drexler, upon his time of his retirement, not only was one of the 50 greatest players to have ever played the game of basketball, when at the time, thousands of individuals had played the game. Furthermore, this is a guy who retired undoubtedly top 5 in his position. He may no longer be there, but we can't make it seem as if guys are trash because they may not be considered the greatest to have ever done it.
Facts.
It seems as if in the minds
of
most sports fans, and I say most because this seems to be an ongoing conversation amongst whether it be casuals or individuals who have some form of tribalism behind either their favorite teams or their favorite players, that if you're not number 1 through 5, you might as well have never played the sport. Furthermore,
which is dumb.
The gap between 1 and 5 is so astronomical in their minds to where 5 is damn near a scrub. People over here making arguments about Larry Bird would just be a guy in today's game. Moreover, talking about he's not as good as he was. Are you guys insane?
He's not lying though.
We can't just sit over here and try to devalue people because the game develops. I've said this time and time again, and I've gone on the record before. I'm going to say it again. Any player from the past that you bring to the current day gets exponentially better. Everybody from the current to present you bring back into the past, they get worse, because you can't just take somebody and then drop them in a different era with the exact same skill set, the mindset, athleticism, durability, all of these things. It doesn't work like that. The development of sports medicine, the development of the actual amount of finances you can accumulate in the midst of playing the sport. Do you recognize people in the 70s, the 80s, whatever the case is? There wasn't a great deal of people who was just financially well off, just off the basis of them playing the sport. You do recognize this, right? People always talk about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell had to play against plumbers. You know people was taking out second jobs? It was a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of the 1%ers who was actually able to play the game, who was able to go over here and fly private or live lavish off the back of what they made playing the sport. Vast majority of motherfuckers had to take out a second job. Moreover, when they were children, they had to work because their parents didn't have it like this. Do you recognize how many guys who are professionals now came up, primarily in basketball I'm talking, or we can even look at football, in AAU culture, in 7-on-7 culture, where your parents, even if they didn't have it like that, could finance you going to these different games? That wasn't around back in the day. Motherfuckers was catching bricks with their fathers in order to go and build houses, all while having to go and take tests for school, then being able to play in their high school game. There was no damn traveling camps and none of that other shit. What's wrong with y'all? Furthermore, you making it seem like dudes back in the day, this one's for my Negroes, You're making it seem as if you took a motherfucker from today, dropped him back in the 60s and the 70s, like shit wouldn't be sweet. The moment you step onto your commercial airline, because you're not flying private, motherfuckers gonna be sitting in first class, comfort, and coach, screaming at you like, then furthermore,
this nigga
you
is
drop
speaking
somebody
facts,
in the
yo.
60s, 70s, 80s, you're immediately fighting a cocaine and crack cocaine addiction. There's drugs everywhere. Your head coach might as well have an assistant who walking into the locker room like,
you buy 14 grams of
bruh.
then you sell it.
and I know what you're thinking. I have a bit of
bro.
cognitive dissonance right here, right? Because I myself have said in the past, as it pertains to football, Patrick Mahomes, my third greatest quarterback of all time. I believe he's leapfrogged John Elway, leapfrogged Peyton Manning, leapfrogged Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. But that doesn't devalue what those guys did in their career. This is just an objective view, or perhaps you could even say subjective view, based on accomplishments in time spent in the midst of the league, right? But that doesn't take away from those other guys. I still would never compare era to, or I should say, put somebody and drop them in a different era or make it seem as if this person is trash or whatever, because we're talking about all-time greats. I never want to devalue somebody in the midst of trying to build somebody up. But that seems to be the populist answer right now.
And they take it too far at almost every goddamn time, bro.
Why can't we just accept and appreciate greatness? It makes no sense. Like, as long as you have
people ignorant.
an objective player who, I don't want to say deserve, but earn the right to be in the conversation for the greatest of all time, then it makes sense. Like, if somebody says LeBron's their greatest of all time, cool. Somebody says it's Michael, cool. Somebody says it's Kobe, cool. Somebody says Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, anybody of that ilk, Tim Duncan, cool. But if you come over here and you talk about, hey man, listen, Dwight Howard's the greatest player to have ever played. Hold on now. I understand it's a subjective conversation, but hold on, and we gotta have brains. Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. All right. Patrick Mahomes, I think it's too soon, but you can make an argument. Joe Montana, all right, no problem. Dan Marino, you talk about simply based off of the arm talent, things of that nature, then by all means. Aaron Rodgers, okay, you can make an argument. He may not have the rings, but I understand. I think it's Vinny Testaverde or Jim Plunkett. It's gotta be Eli Manning, because what's the...
Yo, he is in his bag this video, bro. That nigga, he done had it.
Matter with y'all, bro? Why are we having these conversations? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? It doesn't make sense to me. And this is what I always tell sports fans who are real sports fans, purists of the sport. Please stop engaging in these conversations with these dumbasses.
It ain't worth
because
it.
When you look from afar,
it's not.
Dumbass motherfuckers having an argument. Soon enough, or I should say, one person who's an intellectual arguing with a dumbass. Soon enough, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference. Because you keep engaging with those people. Leave them alone. Somebody puts out one of them takes that's absolutely ridiculous. Don't even engage in it.
It's not worth it.
Literally making it seem as if people who were playing at the peak level of athleticism in their particular sport at the time they were playing were trash. How? Think about this for a second, right? This is going to be my closing argument because I don't want to keep you here too long. Let's think about the 80s or 90s basketball.
Okay.
How the fuck could you in the 80s and the 90s play the same way that the 2024 game is played? That makes no sense. It wasn't quite created yet. It wasn't developed yet. Things develop. As time moves forward in sports, the game gets more skilled. You would hope it gets more skilled. Because if you could just take Bob Cousy straight out of the goddamn 50s and 60s, drop him in today's game, and still play the exact same, you failed as an organization and a sport to move forward. The goal is to get better with time. And lastly, your favorite player's favorite player came from the prior eras. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. And like I said before, this is primarily birthed, this conversation, out of what them trying to do, devaluing the guys who played in the 80s and the 90s, primarily in basketball. But like I said, in NFL and NBA communities, for whatever reason, motherfuckers don't want to appreciate the individuals who came from the past. It makes no sense. I understand, and as eras move forward, the game gets more skill, but that doesn't mean that the dudes was trash back then. Moreover, it doesn't mean you could just take somebody from today, drop them into the past, and
out of nowhere.
is just gonna be peaches and creams and rainbows and shit. It don't work like that.
Facts.
Take an athlete from today and drop them in the fucking 40s and think you're not getting drafted to war. He would have dominated, bro. From 39 until 45, he would have been running all kinds of yards. He would have been at war.
Mm-hmm.
You're fighting Nazi. You're not on the field. You ain't on the court. What's the matter with y'all? Why are we having these conversations? The fuck wrong? It's 2024. Leave this shit in the past. The fuck wrong with y'all?
I feel that though.
Shit's stupid. Somebody get over here, keep talking about these unnecessary comparisons. We gonna need to send in the executioner. Chris!
Oh my God, stop, bro! No shot!
Entire video, but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm. Oh, what's on? Do it!
No shot. There's no way he had that clip towards the end, bro. No way, bro. I just can't, bro. But he was speaking hella facts in this shit, bro. Like, dead ass. And look, because I don't want to keep y'all too long, but it's like, it's one thing to have an opinion, it's one thing to have your favorites, right? Some motherfuckers just take it too damn far though, man. I swear. It's like you cannot have a conversation like that with a lot of people today without some ignorant, stupid shit flying off the handles, bro. But thank you, Chiseled Adonis, bro. You spoke nothing but facts this entire time. Dead ass, bro. But hey, man, leave a like if you enjoyed this reaction. Comment below what you thought about this reaction. I'll see you next time.